Getting a home appraisal in a place like Pinehurst, it used to be a real headache, but that's all changing. Big time. Today, we're going to dive into how this whole process is shifting online, and trust me, it's making things way faster and a whole lot easier.
Okay, so let's picture this. You're right in the thick of a major life event. It could be anything. Settling an estate, navigating a divorce, dealing with tax stuff, and bam, suddenly you absolutely need a formal, accurate value for a property. It's a super common scenario, and let's be honest, it's almost always stressful.
And this is where, in the old days, the real frustration would kick in. I'm talking about endless games of phone tag, leaving voicemails that go into a black hole, just trying to pin down a certified appraiser. It just piled more stress onto what was already a really tough situation.
But like I said, that's all changing. There's a big shift happening online, and it's creating a much, much simpler process. Okay, so here's a really important distinction we need to make. We're not talking about the kind of appraisal you get when you're trying to buy a house and get a mortgage. No, this is what's called a non-lender appraisal. And these are the ones you need for all sorts of personal and legal reasons. Think estate and probate, divorce settlements, or even dealing with the IRS.
So, how does this actually play out in Pinehurst? Let's zoom in and look at a great example of this new online option. So, you've got a company like Home Appraisal Pinehurst. They've really carved out a niche, specializing in exactly these kinds of non-lending appraisals. So, their bread and butter is handling valuations for things like probate, trusts, estate planning, tax appeals, and divorce. Basically, all the situations where you need things to be confident, professional, and spot-on accurate.
And look at how simple the process is now. You just go to their website, fill out a quick form, and boom, you get your quote. This is a total game changer compared to the old way. No more phone tag, just a few clicks and you're on your way.
And really, this quote nails it. What you're getting is the best of both worlds, right? You get that crucial, local, state-certified expertise, but with all the ease and, importantly, the confidentiality that comes with handling things online. And hey, for anyone who needs it, here's their info right there in Pinehurst. Now, of course, it's always good to know what else is out there. So let's broaden our view a bit and look at some of the other local providers to really understand the market in the area. And this is super helpful. You can see how different companies specialize. You've got Home Appraisal zeroing in on those residential, non-lending cases with their online system. Then you have Village Appraisers, who are more focused on commercial real estate, working with banks. And Carolina Appraisers covers residential appraisals all across Moore County. The big takeaway here? You can find someone who is a perfect fit for exactly what you need. When you put it side by side like this, the difference is just night and day, isn't it? We're going from phone calls and scheduling nightmares to simple web forms and fast quotes. We're moving away from a process that felt a bit public to one that's confidential and, frankly, just way more convenient. So why does any of this matter? What are the real takeaways here? Well, it really boils down to three things: speed, convenience, and confidentiality. You get answers faster without playing phone tag. You can start the process from your own home on your own schedule. And you can handle these really sensitive matters with the privacy they deserve. It's about putting you back in control. When you step back, this whole thing with appraisals is really just a snapshot of a much bigger trend, isn't it? It kind of makes you think. As more and more of our lives go digital, we're starting to expect this kind of instant access for everything. So the big question is, what other professional services out there are totally overdue for this kind of modern online makeover?